add it up, gon' add it up, gon' add it up, gon' add it up. Woo! Hello, welcome back to Underrated Movies, Sweet Cinema. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry, and today I would like to talk to you of another film, which I think this film is severely underrated. It's kind of the same vibe as Inherent Vice. And the film I will be talking about is A24's Under the Silverlake, starring Andrew Garfield and Rayleigh. Okay, I'll just put her name right there. Bam! And the story centers around a guy kind of down on his luck who's soon to be evicted from his apartment. Suddenly becomes mesmerized and falls in love with a girl, and suddenly she disappears. Andrew Garfield's character goes on a weird odyssey, finding weird clues and conspiracy theories about where this girl's whereabouts are, and could be something more sinister behind it. I saw the trailer online and it looked pretty good, but surprisingly, I didn't see much advertisement for it, nor did I see a theatrical release for this film. This movie, I don't think this film was really advertised all that well because one, I think the film, and I have to admit, it is a tough sell. It's tough. It's a tough sell. And the reason for that, this film is kind of difficult to really comprehend. And what I mean by that, it's hard to follow. Similar to Inherent Vice, there's a lot of plot points that don't really get, I would say, resolved, or there's just so much, I guess, story beats that are introduced. You are kind of thrown in a loop. But for this case with this film, Andrew Garfield's character, who's kind of figuring out that what we believe may not actually what we see. It could be like a cover, like the theories of conspiracy theories of where we're kind of living in a simulation where things are scripted. There's like hidden clues of hidden clues, like hidden messages behind certain things we do, like in the music, movies, certain things that are hidden from most people, but there's only a few that can really see it. That could be part of something bigger, something much more like a kind of like a syndicate, And Andrew Garfield, who's great in this film, this is probably one of my favorite films of his. And the guy is kind of funny in here. He's kind of an a-hole in this movie. Doesn't really care much, really about anything, or doesn't really have any remorse for anything except for his own agendas, really. I mean, the guy's a dick, especially when it comes to trying to solve the mystery behind this girl's disappearance. Who's, like I said, he's great in here. I actually think this is probably one of my top 3 films of his. Actually, this is like an underrated performance of his. And he goes on this like crazy adventure to trying to find this girl, and he'll beat up. Well, I wouldn't say he'll beat up kids, but just anybody that gets in his way, he'll just beat anybody up. Topher Grace is also in the film, but he doesn't really have much of a. He's kind of a supporting role, but he doesn't really do much really to elevate the story. He's kind of like the friend who's very supportive of Andrew Garfield's character. But this film, what really shines about this film is the story, the depth behind this film, and the so many layers of how this film is kind of just told. There's just so much of it. There's a little bit of animation about it where they're actually telling the story of supposedly like some urban legends that has taken place in Los Angeles. I think it's East Los Angeles. I think from what the film. I think it's in Silverlake. I don't think. Yeah, I think it's in East, where they're trying to figure out how's the story connected to the girl that he likes, and are they part of some sort of like secret cult? Which it is. It is kind of they're part of some sort of cult, some sort of secret cult that you don't really know much about, but it's kind of told through animation clips, hints of the characters and what they kind of explore, and as the movie kind of goes along, you kind of further, I guess, understand the concept of what he's trying to, what he's getting himself into. And there's some crazy things that happen in this film. Like there's like sometimes the movie would get surreal at times, and where things could have happened, may not actually happen, which I think it did. But there are quite a few things that do happen in the film where I think it gets too, I guess, bizarre. And I actually love it that the film kind of pushed the envelopes of being kind of like far out there. Like there's some moments in there where Andrew Garfield's trying to find answers. Actually, one of my favorite scenes of the film where he meets this old guy. He's like some sort of music producer or some writer, and he was telling him that he's written musics that we all that we all that like famous musics that we all know about. And he was telling like there's so many messages that he's put in the music that nobody really understood the whole message behind it. But if you like really try to check it out and listen carefully, there's a meaning behind it. And kind of like predestination, from what I'm getting from the dialogue of that scene, and it really infuriates Andrew Garfield's character, and he grabs like the guy tries to shoot him, the old man tries to shoot him, and he tries to uh, Andrew Garfield grabs like a guitar, electric guitar, and just bushes his face in, and it gets violent and brutal with that scene. It's like it's quite shocking, but then it's kind of funny when something like that happens because there's like no repercussions to that character. But there's so many things going on with the film. It kind of keeps you invested, and I think this is a film that I think really sells out as being like a mystery film. It's like a mystery comedy. It's a mystery black comedy film where there's so much stuff happening in the film. The movie, there's a lot of ambiguity in the film, a lot, where they explain certain things about the plot, but they don't go in detail into it. But it still leaves a hint of mystery to it, where you kind of don't know if you believe the information or not. You're kind of just as clueless, but you're kind of investing into the ride. Um, it is tough to follow when you first watch this film. Even like I just watched it like the second time before I start recording this video, and there's still little plot details that I'm still not so sure about. But I actually love this film. Some of it was actually pretty funny, but I like that this film was more story driven and it didn't rely more on comedic gags or anything. Like it concentrated on being a unique story, and I love this film for it. I wish I saw this in theaters. I just bought the DVD and it was like $5. I was like, oh, what the hell? I wanted to watch it for a while now, and I bought it. And I actually really enjoyed it. This was a really good film, really good, really complicated, and you kind of really want to try to have patience with this film because this is not your normal, typical film. And I guess when this film was released, it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival 2018. And I think the response was so divisive they couldn't figure out what to really do with the film. And from what I've understood, there were barely any advertisements. I don't think the film really it had a limited release because I didn't pick this up in any theaters at all, like nothing. And suddenly it was just on DVD. This film it has a lot of twists and turns. It has a lot of there's a lot going on in this film. It keeps you invested. It keeps you really invested. The cinematography, the direction of this was great. Um, it's a shame that this film hasn't gotten any recognition, though I heard it might have like some sort of cult classic status. If so, I don't hear much about it, anybody really talking about it. But the film really dives into the like secret like encryptions of hidden messages around just around society, around just like kind of like the Matrix. Like there's hidden things hitting around everywhere you go, and you just don't know. Conspiracy theories. It makes conspiracy theorists. I think this film is for you. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend anybody who's an Andrew Garfield fan, and who's really looking down for a good like mystery comedy, or just something different, something a little bit challenging. Because this film will challenge the hell out of you, and I highly recommend it. Please check this out. If you have seen it, comment below what you thought about it. If you're looking for something different, please check out Under the Silver Lake. You can check it out online. I will post the trailer in the link description below. Let me know if you have seen it, what you thought about it. You can also follow me on my channel. Like, subscribe, Instagram link right here, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.